Dr. Christina Conolly, and welcome again to our MCPS video series, Waymaking. Our goal is to help families make their way through many of the emotional challenges that we are faced with today. I have with me today two special guests who are students in MCPS. First, I have with me Spencer, who is a student at Ridgeview Middle School, and Byron, who is a student at Jones Lane Elementary. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having us.
Having us.
Oh, you're very welcome. Glad to have you. So, our questions today are going to go into what is it like in a virtual experience from the student's perspective. And so, my first question is for the both of you. So, when schools went all virtual this past spring, what was it like to get used to having class on Zoom?
Well, for me, it was hard getting used to it because we were switching from Google Classroom to MCPS Classroom. And since it was a new thing for me and my teachers, it was hard because I didn't know where to find my assignments and my tests. And since it was new for my teachers, they didn't know where to put the stuff, so everything was a mess, making everything unorganized and hard to find.
Okay, so there were some struggles just trying to get used to going from Google Classroom to my MCPS Classroom or Canvas. Okay. So then, Byron, what are some of your perspectives?
For me, it was like hard and easy because the hard part was it was like only 30-minute class and there was so much stuff to like keep up. And then the easy part was it was only 30 minutes. You didn't have to stay there for like the whole time like right now.
Right. So, at first you're thinking like, oh my God, school's 30 minutes. This is great. But then all of a sudden it's like, wait, I maybe I'm having trouble with a topic and I needed more time to learn it, huh? So yeah, so I can understand from both of you how that can be a struggle, for many of the students that we have here. But that then goes into my next question for you. And so then what has been like getting, all of your assignments completed, and with this, so then where do you go to get help if you need it?
So for me, it has been hard getting all my assignments completed because since we're at home, the work seems optional and it doesn't feel like we're forced to do it anymore. And if I need help doing my work on Wednesdays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, they give us the option to go see our teachers and ask them for help for the same amount of time as we would have a normal period.
Okay. So has going to the check-ins been helpful for you in helping with your assignments?
Yes, it has because I've been able to get extra help that I wouldn't get in a normal class.
Okay, so that sounds like that's something different than when we were in person. Like you were able to, that's a new experience and an opportunity for you to get help in the virtual setting than if you were in, school like face to face.
Yes.
All right. So what about you, Byron? So what has it been like for you to get all your assignments done? And then where do you go if you need help?
For my assignment, it's kind of hard because there's so much stuff to do in one day. And when like I'm having trouble with that, I talk to my counselor and stuff like that, and she really helps me with strategies.
Okay, so if you're struggling, you're able to go to your counselor to get some help, and your counselor's been able to give you some strategies to help you to get your work done.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what are some of the strategies that your counselor shared with you?
Like putty, like and taking like 2 breaks every like after recess or before recess in the morning and afternoon and that type of stuff.
Okay, so using putty, kind of like having something in your hands, and then being able to take breaks, and that
Mm-hmm.
can help you to kind of refocus.
Yeah.
All right. No, that those both sound like good strategies, in order to help you to kind of get refocused. And I'm glad that the teachers and the counselors have been there to help you during this time when you're in need of help. So then my next question goes into, and so I'm curious as we're going through this, is there anything, that you can think of as you're being in a virtual experience that has been positive for being home and going to school from home?
For me, a positive thing would be the classes are shorter and our day gets to start later, so we have more time to sleep in. I like that about being home.
Being home and sleeping in, yes, for definitely for a budding teenager, yes, I can understand that. So, what about for you, Byron?
Like we're home and like we can get a snack whenever we want or take a bathroom break whenever we want and that type of stuff.
All right. So like, okay, so being home at times has some advantages, but also understand, you all were sharing some of the, disadvantages of not being home too. And I mean, not being back in this classroom setting, but hey, going and being able to get up and get your snack and use the restroom when you want, those can be some perks. So that's good. I'm glad you all have been able to experience some of those things as well in the virtual setting. So then my next question, so is there anything that you want teachers and families to know about when it comes to virtual learning that you haven't already shared? I mean, think of it like this. Is there one thing that you would want to make sure that teachers and families knew about from your perspective, the kids' perspective?
From my perspective, I would want the teachers and parents to know that, or to pay attention, and that it's not always clear which assignments are due or what assignment is graded and what is not graded. It's hard to find that out, whether in person we could just ask the teacher, but then if we're during class, we can't ask them because they're still during their lesson and we'd have to talk over them.
Okay, so and it's hard trying to figure out the assignments and what's missing, what's completed, what's due, what's not. And I've heard a lot of students have been struggling with that as well, especially trying to get used to the new synergy system and trying to figure out the assignments. So yeah, so I think what you're experiencing is what others students are going through as well. What about you, Byron?
Not really anything.
No, you don't have anything. All right, like, I've given all the information. I'm good. So, no, I appreciate that. So, and then my last question for you is that do you have any suggestions for kids to help them manage stress during this time?
For me, some tips to manage stress would be to get lots of sleep, to exercise, and to connect with your friends. Because if you don't connect with your friends, you'll just feel like you're lonely all the time.
Okay, all right. So, sleep, connecting with your friends because we don't want to feel lonely during this time. All right, good. Byron, what about you?
Uh, Talk to your counselor a lot. Stay in touch with your friends. Try to play online games with your friends so you're not like outside with them or too close to them.
All right, so it sounds like so going online and playing online games with them, staying connected, and also when you talk about talking with that trusted adult in your building, for you, that's your counselor, and being able to be connected. I mean, both of you have really shared like some of that connection piece is important during this time, and trying to make sure that you find ways to connect with others, either with your friends that you just want somebody to talk to, or when you need help. And so all of those things are very important. So, and I so appreciate both Spencer and Byron coming on and talking with us today on the show. And so, and we also, as we're going through, we want to thank our viewers for joining us for another Waymaking episode. To send us additional questions and topics to discuss on the show, please see the link on your screen. Also, please go to our YouTube playlist to find additional shows in our series. And please join us next time on MCPS Waymaking.